Hi, Leo. We are doing it. We have weekly readings now. I already like your first card that popped out. So this is for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. But also, if you have a ton of planets, especially personal planets, in the fifth house, or if you have a fifth house Sun or Moon, this may resonate because sometimes a planet, especially Sun or Moon, and it could be Venus, but a strongly aspected Venus, like a Venus that's like trining your moon, and that Venus is in the fifth house, then yeah, sure, it's gonna have a lot of Leo energy. Any Sun or Moon or Venus that is in the fifth house, but also strongly aspected. We are looking at the energy around you that's current and energy around person or persons or situation. There's going to be a row for each of you. And then in the middle is the row that creates the alchemy between the two energies creates and what that's looking like. Okay. Top row across, I like to look at, also it could be Leo North Node, because the nodal axis has been coming up a lot in reading, so it's just a thing now. The top row is the current energies and energies that you may purposely be in and also not aware of. And the middle row is what energies will you be bringing into the exchange? And that could be like the most recent thing that's happened to you that is kind of still kind of on you, or what you're purposely trying to bring into the next relationship, or what you're purposely not trying to bring in, and the alchemy that creates with the two of you. The last row is my favorite. The last row, I look to see whether it lasts 5 weeks, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years. What is the divine lesson, or what's the first one that we're going to see that you kind of signed up for, that on your to-do list of lessons in this lifetime? Because each person and situation is not the destiny. It's the discovery of you. That's always the destination. But each person and situation that comes along is absolutely a vehicle you have to hop in and take the ride so you can discover the thing. So I like to look at that because that's really the most important thing. When we start to look at everything as far as whether it's a success or a failure, then we look, well, I can't make a relationship work. It's unhealthy, and especially Leo that gives so much, but you're not responsible for the other person. And also, what are the mindsets that you're bringing in, right? I'm using my super duper gorgeous cards that my Leo niece, Faithy, in case you're watching your sign, gave me for my birthday last year. Ooh. Okay, so let's get into it, Leo. And Leo's been having some there's like a hot read, there was like a really good read. They've had some intense reads when I'm doing the Friday Night Tarot, which is Soul Navigation. All the links are in the description box. So the first row is current energy. I kind of love what you have, but we're going to talk about it. So you have the Six of Wands. So it's fire energy, and it's victory, right? It's being victorious. It's hard to interpret the Six of Wands as negative. So I love that as your first card. I said the first card that pops out, I love it. Leo is regal, right? Leo sits on a throne for a reason. You're probably royalty at least one lifetime. There's a stature, and there's also an admiration of Leo. It just kind of oozes off of them, and not necessarily in a bad way, sometimes not in a great way. But they definitely know how to stand in their power in their really great moments, right? But when the crown feels tarnished, and when that love doesn't feel there, or or it doesn't feel like it's freely given, because when you love hard, and you excellent gift givers. But they definitely want back what they give. Like Leo's not like gonna give until they're empty inside and keep giving. They might, but they hate it. They won't acclimate like some other signs can. The thing about this particular Six of Wands, it's different than our person riding into town with all the flower wreaths, right? And the celebration and the small parade. Be careful of succeeding because you set it up that way. Be careful of manipulating the situation so you don't get your feelings hurt. One of the things about the fire sign is whether you're talking about fun Sag who can like take or leave commitment depending on where they are in life and what the other placements are in their chart, or we're talking Aries who's like, it is what it is and I am what I am, but I'm running through the door and either you're keeping up or you're not, kind of thing. Or whether we're talking Leo, also lots of fun and fiery, stands in their power. Even if you're not full of admonishments, like we all know the Leo that's like a minimalist, right? And what they aren't all dripping in big hair and doing shape-shifting contour. They're just not all of them. Those people still are recognized for the power they hold in a room. And it hurts whether they're going to show it or not. It hurts when that recognition doesn't come in. So often they will put so much effort into kind of stacking the deck so they can win, because to them it's almost like self-love. Leo, leave me a comment if I just touched on something there. But Leo likes to set the game up to win. They want everyone to win. Maybe like Sag is like that too. Aries wants to win. Aries doesn't care. They want to like, they want to take home the prize. They might even be a little bit of a sore winner at times. But be careful that you are not, because you're also all genuine. You are genuinely what you are. So like you can hurt your own feelings doing that. I don't want to see you do that. Like don't set the expectations up of like, well, I set it up so that I have to win. And then if something else happens, it crashes you. So I feel like this victorious mode, and I feel the need to say, be careful that you're not, for one of two of you, you just came out of great pain. For some of you, it's in loss, and for some of you, it's in like real loss, and then some of you, it's a devastating breakup and possible betrayal, which no one likes betrayal. Leo, that cuts them to the core. Leos are loyal, they value it. Betrayal is rough. Yeah. For some of you, you just came out of a really big hurt. You don't want to be in that. It took a bit to dig out of that. And you're determined to not let it crush you, right? To get back on that throne and to straighten out your crown. And for some of you, you're trying to set yourself up for success. And I totally get that. But just please be aware that setting yourself up for success is also setting expectations. And that's a great, setting goals is different than setting expectations. Setting expectations of like, I can't lose this time because I need it for survival. This is not, I'm better than everyone else, I should win vibe. This is survival mode. I need to win because I can't crash like I just did. All the reads are so intense this week. It's what's going on in the sky. They have 7 of Wands and they have it in reverse. You have this lovely person looking like a desk at detention. And I always say, who doesn't like that? Maybe somebody. But most of us like somebody who looks like a desk at detention. And they have love and everything written. This person definitely came in pursuing you, love written all over them. This card is in reverse. They were staunchly defending what you guys had. I feel like okay, there's going to be 2 different scenarios. For some of you, this isn't something that doesn't feel great right now. For some of you, this is somebody who you thought was going to come in and be that loyalty and be that they were just that, they were the opposite of they're not that into you. They were so into you and you just thought, this is it. That's what I've been waiting for. And then for one reason or another, it just, they stopped putting in the work. 7 of Wands can also be a card for somebody who like fights for others, like, somebody who sticks up for humanitarian rights. Like they're usually like an advocate. They're an advocate card. And they're not being an advocate right now for you guys. I'm so sure that that's from their own limitations. I literally look at these cards as we go. So what I just said lines up. It's the King of Pentacles. It is the daddy of stability. It is this is father for your kids, or creating that home that's really stable that maybe you didn't have as a child. It's in reverse. So the alchemy that this is creating is that I think I think this person genuinely, they weren't even like fake love bombing you. They weren't. I feel like they genuinely thought that they were going to come in and this was it for them too. And then whatever happened on their side, and they did not show up the way they promised. And they definitely, with this written all over them, they promised. They didn't just appear. You didn't, and you're not crazy. It feels important to say, Leo. Whoever this is for, and I'm getting my physical confirmation. You didn't imagine the things that they said. You didn't make this to be more than it was. You didn't read into things. They said it. You're not crazy. They said it. You're putting expectations on yourself. I don't think you put unrealistic I think this person didn't do what they said. I think they meant it when they said it. They had good intention. Their intention and their follow through was interrupted by limitations, fear, those kind of things. The energy you're bringing into the relationship is 5 Pentacles, feeling like you get left out in the cold, feeling ghosted, feeling ignored, feeling like The resources you provide for others aren't there for you. You feel under-resourced, under-supported. Now, there is support for you. I think that you are focusing on this other person that did not follow through. And you might be a little bit in that, but you promised. Maybe they're going to get their ish back together. Like you promised. And so now I'm going to wait for you to make good on your promises. There is other support and there's other opportunities for you. So I would like to make sure that you understand you didn't imagine anything. This is about their limitations. That's why we have this third row, because the destination is not in whether it works out or not, and whether you're capable of holding down a relationship or not. That's BS. That's not what it's about. It's what was this supposed to make you discover about yourself? For them, interestingly enough, I have the Eight of Cups. These are such beautiful cards. It only made sense I had to use these for Leo. And she's beautiful little ladybug, right? Eight of Cups, spirit, universe, our relationship with this card is that it's when you're willingly walking away. See the transformation, see the butterflies. This is not a sad card. Yes, it's walking away, but it's walking into unknown that benefits you after transformation. It's walking into transformation. It's willingly walking away from things that no longer served you. We have it in reverse. When I see Eight of Cups in reverse, it means somebody's trying to walk back in. I don't ever want to give anyone like false hope about a relationship gone bad. But I'm so sure that everything they said, they meant. I'm so sure that they had good intentions. I'm also so sure that they hurt you and you're not crazy and they said those things and then just pretended that they didn't. It's not even like they were like, I'm sorry, I thought I could do this and I can't. They're just kind of like putting it on you a little bit because of their own limitations. It's not nice. Doesn't make them an evil person, but it wasn't good how they handled it. You're entitled to feeling the way that you do right now. If no one else has said that to you, you're not being over dramatic. You're completely entitled to feel the way that you do right now. The alchemy that's created by is the Ten of Swords. That's quite literally the stick of fork in me. I'm done. The traditional, and I mention her all the time in the lives, the traditional is the soldier with the 10 swords and Gemma from Gemstone Tarot, whom I love. And she's just so wonderful, but and brilliant. I don't know if she knows how brilliant she is. But she talks about when you get the 10 of swords, the old description of that card is, here's the soldier. He lays with 10 swords in his back and he's very dead. The good news about something being very dead is that you're not trying to resuscitate it. It's the end of a cycle. It's the end of a bad cycle. So the energy that the two of these, like what you're bringing in is creating, is needing a fresh start. God, it would be great. I have a policy. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver. In life in general, I try not to be that. I definitely don't want to do it here because you're coming here for guidance and honesty. And I may not get as many clicks because my titles aren't like, this is it, or whatever. However, for some of you, this person is trying to walk back, and they're trying to walk back in a different cycle. The intention again is there. We will clarify and see what that looks like. So the alchemy created by both of you bringing in what you're bringing in is we're not doing this way anymore. We're not going to continue the same way anymore. We're either just not going to continue, or it's got to be all new. Now, I'm not seeing like they came in with great passion and pulled it back, right? When I have 10 of swords on the table, for me, it's like words are done, empty words, because it's a stick, a fork in me, and I'm done, right? Everything is fine. But also as that cycle is ending, you're not accepting any more empty words. It can't, like, those are all the words are done. Now we need actions. For me, 10 of swords, for it to continue, and again, we'll clarify, but for to really be the end of a cycle and start something in earnest, that does what it says it's going to do. I'm going to need to see some wands coming afterwards. And there is some wands in the third, but I still want to clarify this. So very, very interesting for what you both get out of the exchange, what the divine lesson that you signed up and said, okay, this person is going to show me this. It's going to teach me this because I'm going to really need to learn it. You have the card for Scorpio. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous death card. And death again is transformation. There's a lot of transformation on the table. And a lot of cycle closing. We have the world on their end, which is a completely new cycle. It's closing out, and it's the closing of the major arcana. These are all the same energy. There's a lot of it on the table. I like that the 10 of swords is in the upright, and it's not. If I saw 10 of swords in the reverse, it would be you're still accepting empty words, or you're giving something that was really dead another chance. And it doesn't necessarily mean the person, that situation is over. But it's done the way it was. Again, we have death. I love the death card. I feel like that's, you can't have the whole new beginnings, and you can't start things new without the transformation of putting something else to rest. For a few of you though, this 6 of Wands, the 5 of Pentacles, and the death card is that loss that I felt. That's actual real loss. This death card, she's blooming all over. There's so much growth. There's beauty in what comes after. So that is the big lesson, that even death doesn't hold the end of everything. And it doesn't. For the rest of you, this is about this is a really kind of good progression. I know this hasn't sounded like a great reading, but that, like, trying to manipulate the outcome so that there's absolute victorious, because you just can't, you're in survival mode, comes an understanding from this exchange that feeling your feelings, letting it hit you, was not bad, and it was not weak. The crash was necessary to bring about the transformation. But more than that, Leo, you handled it in a way that you're done with the same cycles. You handled it in a way where you chose the transformation instead of victimship. You chose it. You chose to take something that was supposed to be stable and bountiful, right? Because Pentacle cards aren't just about money, they're about stability and growing things together. And so, or on your own, but in this case together. And so you've learned to take like the empty field, I know that's super corny, and make something beautiful come out of it. They have the World card. They are having a transformation. They're having a transformation. And we could pull a card. Sometimes I don't understand. I will never pretend to make anything make sense. So we're going to clarify. I'm not always a big fan. Five of Wands is a couple of things. It can be movement and passion, but this card particularly is like holding on to things, manipulate. It's kind of that Six of Wands with like the carrot dangling, so that you know the outcome. That doesn't actually make sense to me. And what divine lesson that you signed up for comes out of the alchemy of the two of you and how you exchange with others. She does have that that's keeping your chips close to your chest. But we're gonna clarify. Let's use, I want to clarify. Okay. Ten of Swords got clarified by the Five of Pentacles, which is already right next to it. So you're done. You're done. Justice. It came out in reverse. Justice comes out right after the Wheel of Fortune. It's supposed to be about the Wheel of Fortune is yours to move. You're not supposed to just be sitting there and waiting for the Wheel of Fortune to move itself. And the Wheel of Fortune isn't good or bad, really. It's about movement and the understanding that you have more power than you realize. Justice in reverse is feeling like that Five of Pentacles, and Justice in reverse is you being done because you feel like I never get back what I give. So you're really feeling done, and then embracing the transformation that the death of and also the letting go of that. Now, I don't know that might have been a third party here. There might have been a third party, but also your person, I'm feeling a lack. For some of you, it was third party and they're over it. They're done. And it was maybe somebody they worked with. For others of you, this person pulled back because they either had home insecurity, food insecurity, money insecurity as a child. And when that takes over, they're non-functional and they use bad behavior as a way to like self-medicate from almost like a fight or flight. The reason that we see the World card here and them wanting to come back is that there's either a promotion at work or something that makes them feel like, and it's not even like I couldn't provide for you, so I was talking to this other person. It's literally, it's that deep of a wound for them that they have a very bad trauma response, which is not okay for you, and you don't have to accept it. But for some of them, they're able to bring to the table their self-worth was just eviscerated because of finances. And their finances are moving. Okay. Next to the Death card, to clarify that Five of Wands, I have the Queen of Pentacles. In both these cards, they are holding their pieces and they're very close to their chest. I just heard something. I'm going to take one more card to clarify it, Leo. Every reading, I'm like, this can be a 20-minute reading. Not this week. Not this week. We're going to get them down to 20-minute readings somehow, some way. And then obviously you want to join in on Fridays for the energy update. That actually I managed to do all of them in about an hour. And there's always a contest for divine. Leo's almost won like twice for a divine connection reading. And those are for the people who are in an actual divine union relationship. And this week I'm actually giving away a 30-minute reading, which I never do. It's not, thank you for your patience for last week when the internet was okay. I feel like the lesson, especially for you, of how you exchange with people from now on, that this brings, the alchemy brings. We see the beauty and transformation and just letting it hit you and not making it make you feel weak. Leo doesn't like to feel weak. And understanding that it's just never weakness. It was the necessary part of being a better you and discovery of like your strength, really. And Leo is about strength. What I heard when this Queen of Pentacles came out to clarify that Five of Wands is that it's about not giving away your power. It's about learning to be the giving, loving person that you are and not also giving away your power in exchange to get that back from somebody. You don't have a closed heart, but you do. I just heard, don't sell your soul. You don't manipulate who you are now to please somebody else so that they'll give back what you give. It's less of this, it's more of transformation, and it's more of understanding. Queen of Pentacles is stable. It doesn't mean you have to be by yourself all the time. But I got the Two of Swords. This is the Muse deck. But Two of Swords is about like, it doesn't have to be one way or another. There's another way, and that's the intuition. That's why the eyes are normally covered in that card. And the other is the Seven of Cups. You have choices. You have choices. You have choices and you have options. And you do not have to. It's not like if this person doesn't work out, there's no other love, and it determines all of my happiness and everything else. There's other love in your life, and it might not be romantic, but also there's other romantic choices coming up, and this person might still be one of them. For a lot of you, this person is going to come back and you're going to make them prove themselves, which I kind of like. Let's get a healing card. I'm losing my light, which means Sagittarius, I'm going to look like the 1970s film strip, which is what happens when I lose my light. But it's about the message. Okay. I just get a shadow card for Leo. I love what you learn, and I love the growth in this. They said no. I have 2 sets of like deep healing. I have 3 sets of healing cards, but like deep. Like, what's the message? I have faith in you, Leo. I mean, self-love, the stability starts. That's always, I know that's corny. Look how gorgeous. That's such a Leo card. Say what you mean. Like, I'm not going to listen unless you say what you mean. Don't take empty words. Leo likes the language of love that is words of affirmation and gifts, right? And that can't be enough anymore. That can't be enough anymore, especially not for all that you give, Leo. I will see you Friday night on Soul Navigation. And the way you win the 30-minute reading, because for some of you, I feel like that would be super helpful right now, is if you've been watching the shows, there's a card that I will pull up and say, what do I call this card? And if you've been watching, you know. And the first one to answer wins the 30-minute. I love you. Now you love you. I will see you next week. Bye.